I'm Dawna Hetzler.
And I'm Sally Smith.
We, just like you, are bravely walking through the dark valleys of life in hopes of scaling joyful summits.
We believe that safe and trusted women are a force to be reckoned with. When we climb together, we can reach the mountaintop.
Many of our challenges come from feeling as if we are stuck while trying to ascend, hiding in crevices, waiting for storms to pass.
Might we suggest that you have a more proactive role in reaching the peaks of your own life?
Let's laugh at the untruths we were taught, from the common religious myths to the lies we believe about our situations and about ourselves.
It is our hope that our time together brings you solace from life's daily drudgery and a bit of lighthearted laughter.
This is a safe place where you are welcome, right where you are, even in your questions and doubts. So rise up, sister. It's time to conquer together.
And we certainly hope you'll say,
"Now that's funny!"
Welcome to That's Funny, and here's your host, Dawna Hetzler, and Sally Smith.
Well, hello and welcome to our first episode of That's Funny, and we are so excited that you guys are here with us. We want to just set the groundwork and let you know that we don't have all the answers. This is a show about questions, and we don't know it all.
We don't know it all. We are not experts by any means. We're just here to help walk this journey with you.
Absolutely. And so the foundation of this show is not a comedy show, although some of the things you and I do are kind of funny. But it's about dispelling the myths from the Bible that we have come to believe and love and hold on to, lies about ourselves, and all the things that we say to other people that maybe aren't scripturally true or damaging. And so we want to make it fun and then dispel that myth and then twist it around and figure out how we can actually say it the right way and walk together in this journey.
Yes,
right?
For sure.
So let's talk about, first of all, our very first topic, which I'm super excited about, and that is the myth that God never gives you more than you can handle. Now that's funny. So, or maybe not so funny sometimes, right?
Right.
Okay, so let's talk about where this kind of comes from. And I'm going to pop over to 1 Corinthians 10, verse 13. And I'm reading out of the Complete Jewish Bible, which is just a little bit different take. And Verse 13 says, "No temptation has seized you beyond what people normally experience, and God can be trusted not to allow you to be tempted beyond what you can bear." Do you want to read the NIV?
Sure, I'm going to read out of the NIV version, and it says, "No temptation has seized you except what is common to man, and God is faithful. He will not let you be tempted beyond what you can bear. But when you are tempted, He will also provide a way out so that you can stand up under it."
Yes, and I love both versions of that because it really contrasts just a little bit. But what Paul is saying is he's referring to actual temptations. And so whether we're tempted by the enemy, we're tempted, we tempt ourselves, whatever that looks like, he's saying that God will give us a way out. But we don't believe that he is actually applying it to our trials. So when somebody gives you this verse, it's kind of, I feel, it's about temptation, right?
Right.
And so it's a different take.
Exactly. I've gone through many trials, and this is what people used to say to me all the time. "Oh, God doesn't give you more than you can handle, honey." And I just looked at them, and I would find humor in it, and I would say, "Oh, really? I think he's overestimated me." Or, "He must think I'm a real warrior." When really, in hindsight, it wasn't what I needed at the time. So going through these trials.
And do you want to give a little intro to your trials? I mean, there's so much, right? We're going to get into more, but where do you want to start?
I have a lot to pull apart.
Yes.
But let me take you back to 1992. My husband and I, we found out that we were pregnant with our first child, and we were just over the moon. We were beyond excited that this was happening to us, and we were getting ready to go for our first ultrasound, and he's got the little bag that we're carrying, and we're just two first-time parents who are just beyond excited that this is happening. And so we get in for the ultrasound, and I'm laying down, and he's standing next to me, and they start doing the ultrasound, and I could see on the nurse's face that something was wrong.
Oh gosh.
And I kind of looked at my husband, and he kind of looked at me, and she said, I need to step out of the room for a minute. And she comes back in with the doctor, and the doctor does the ultrasound, and he kind of puts the wand down, and he looks at us, and he says, there's something wrong with your baby's heart. And my husband and I just kind of looked at each other and, well, what do you mean? And they said, well, it's on the opposite side. And I feel like it was minutes that passed, but it was just seconds where I'm sitting there thinking, what in the world is happening? And so he said to us, they normally see with this in babies that other organs are flipped as well.
Oh my goodness.
So it was too early to tell what other anomalies he may have. But at that time he said, we really don't know if you'll be able to carry this baby to term.
Oh my goodness.
And we don't know what the outcome will be. So you have some choices.
That, I'm choking up a little bit because it just takes me back. I was with you during that time, and it's still hard to hear after all these years, that was your reality. In one of the happiest times in life where you should be getting this joyous news, and here you are in this hospital room hearing that there's something wrong.
Right.
And if I was there with you and I would have said, oh, Sally, God never gives you more than you can handle. I mean, how would you feel at that point?
It would shut me down. I mean, it is not what someone needs to hear at that time.
Right.
It just isn't. It was more than I could handle.
Yes, absolutely so. Well, and to kind of transition that, it made me think of Ezekiel and how God takes Ezekiel in what we think is a vision into this valley of death and dead bodies, to be dramatic about it. But
Dry bones.
Dry bones, right? So I want to turn over to Ezekiel 37 and just read that to you so we can discuss that a little bit. And this is the complete Jewish Bible, so God is Adonai in here. With the hand of Adonai upon me, Adonai carried me out by his spirit and set me down in the middle of the valley, and it was full of bones. He had me pass by all around them. There were so many bones lying in the valley, and they were so dry. He asked me, human being, can these bones live? And I answered, Adonai Elohim, only you know that. Only you know that. And I love how Ezekiel, he doesn't try and answer God or have a quick response. He doesn't say, hey, looking at all these bones is, you're giving me this. It's not more than I can handle. What he says is he turns to God and he goes, only you know that. And I love that posture about how he responds to God. And you might want to give a little context about where Ezekiel was or what's going on at that time.
Right, so God told Ezekiel to prophesy about the rebirth of Israel in kind of an impossible time. And God led Ezekiel in spirit or vision, we don't really know for sure, to the valley of dead humans, the dry bones.
What's your best dry bone face?
What's yours?
All sucked up. I don't know. I think I'd be cross-eyed. No, I don't know. Dry bones. So this whole idea of God is showing Ezekiel this terrible thing, kind of like he was revealing to you, in this hospital room. And then he's asking Ezekiel this question, can these bones live? And you don't have to answer this. I'm just thinking, was there a voice of God that was saying, can your baby live? That came to you? I don't know. So anyways, with the dry bones, maybe you're going through a trial and you feel like you're walking through a valley of death and you are just completely spent and dry. And can you hear God's voice saying to you, daughter, can these bones live? Can they live? And what's your answer to that? So back to being in that hospital and the ultrasound, and what did the doctor say, like, with that?
Well, the doctors recommended to terminate. So
what did you do?
Well, Donna, you're just going to have to wait.
Oh gosh, don't do that to me.
I'm sorry, these episodes are only 15 minutes long, and you still have a faith crisis that you need to talk to us about that happened in 2008.
True, and so I will share that on our next episode so you can journey with me through my ordeal in 2008. But now kind of going back and knowing Sally's story and that piece of it, me as your friend, instead of me saying, oh, Sally, God never gives you more than you can handle, what would be a good response for me to say to you during a time like that?
I think that during times like that, it would be helpful to say, I'm so sorry. Acknowledge that they're going through it. I'm so sorry that you're going through this. How can I help you? How can I walk alongside you?
Okay, that's good. Well, let's practice this week, and let's change that jargon a little bit and come alongside our sisters and help strengthen them and renew them through the trials that we're in. And I'd also like to pull out a little bit of Ezekiel 37 in the sense of having that heart posture of really like, Adonai Elohim, only you know. And so really not having the answers, but checking with God, keeping quiet, and then saying something that's helpful in relationships going forward when we're traveling through these difficult journeys that we all face. And so let's practice that, but it's a hard one, isn't it?
It sure is.
Yeah.
It really is. Well, I can't wait to hear all of your comments, so make sure you like and subscribe our channel. And at the end of every month, we are going to give away a fabulous book from a very famous author, someone you might know. She might even sign it for you.
Well, definitely.
So definitely make sure that you like and subscribe to our channel to win this.
Absolutely. And in the meantime, just keep the faith, keep walking, and remember, do not believe the lie that God never gives you more than you can handle. Now that's funny.
From the heavens high above, I feel the touch of his laughter and love. In every moment, tear and smile, God's humor is heard, every step, every mile. Keep walking, dear sister. You've got this.